We can shift a little bit and talk about how through the giving, actually, in line with what you were talking about around the giving, one of the other pieces you talked about was finding that passion and finding where you are personally passionate and how the impact of that passion on your ability.
I want to talk about that. I was lucky. I found melody. Like, you know, in the scripture it says, you know, you have control over the work alone, but never the fruit. And it goes on to talk about the fruit as being a distraction even. Mm-hmm. Like the work itself is the prayer. So if you're making a great record, you hear that melody, and you're engaged and you're fully present. And like the reason you meditate and the reason that you do everything in life is to find some stillness, those seconds of happiness. When you laugh, it's a second where the noise is gone, where the hundreds of thoughts are gone. Right then is that joke. And it's the only thing you're focused on. You've been in a car accident, everything moves slow. This state of consciousness, this is a meditative state. So the idea of this prayer, it can take over. So melody, music is very good for this. I mean, that's why they have Nada Yoga. That's why they have church, in the church you sing, and you have chanting. You have, because it takes over. It's so beautiful. It sucks your mind into it. But you've read books, and for those moments where you realize I'm not even breathing, this is the kind of single-pointed focus you want in your work. And it's impossible to think about your result or the toy that you might get when you're engaged in something so Christ-like as presence, as pure presence. It's impossible to leave it. Now, the only thing that might come across your mind and then ruin your connection to that melody when you're making that great record is, wait till they hear this record. You know, you ain't thinking about the money. It's like, wait till I play these, when they hear this record. You're thinking, so this excitement, you know, this excitement of giving is good, but the excitement of doing is even better. But the excitement of receiving is small. It's fringe benefit.
Right. I love that. I love that. It's a byproduct. It's a fringe benefit. You said that the real benefit that you get is the joy of doing the work.
But let me further that, because yes, melody is good to grab you. But what about more difficult things that don't inspire you so much? What about the harder job? You know, when you're making a record, there's a lot of things. If you're by yourself, you got to figure out how to package it. You got to figure out how to trick the record company into buying it. You got to make them think they owned it. I remember that was my first record. I put an order number on it. You had to go beg the DJs to play it. You got to do a lot of work. The kid finds passion in music. He didn't just find the music. He found 100 new jobs because he got to do it all by himself. And he has to be engaged in each part of that process. And so you may have a job, you go to work, and you think it's uninspiring, but you will find that just same lack of inspiration that you have at this job will follow you to the next job. You have to learn to put your head in your work, even if it's service, then yeah, because then you can put the smile on someone's face. No matter what the work is. So my book is more not about you lucky enough to find out you like basketball. You know, and you get in the zone. Y'all know what that is. If you're ball players, you're men, you want to live in the zone. And that's living in a state of Christ consciousness, or samadhi, or taqwa for Muslims, or nirvana for Buddhists. So you want to keep searching for those extra seconds of presence. And it comes from the behavior that's taught in all the scriptures. The kind of resilience and resistance that you have to have in that giving, in what's prescribed to you by Jesus and Muhammad and Lord Buddha and Abraham and the yogic philosophies, scriptures, and it's all the same. It's like this behavior brings you to God. This behavior brings you to happiness. The happy servant is the most attractive. And then he may not want he may not need a lot of toys. He may learn that the toys don't matter, because I can tell you, no matter how big your mansion, you can only sit your ass in one seat at a time. Excuse me. So, and the search in life is to be comfortable in that one seat. And to operate from that one seat is what a preacher would call, a prosperity preacher would say, operating from abundance. I already have everything I need. I'm just giving. And they start fighting over you. Which job do you really want to take? Because they all want that person, that giver, that great giver becomes the greatest getter if he gets what he wants.